I do something called the 5-star shout out. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in. You can't make a. You know what I'm talking about.
Man, let that beat roll, Dennis. Let that beat roll.
Turn that beat back on, man. Let me go. I got a hot 8 bars for y'all, man. Turn that beat back on, man.
Oh shoot, we gonna record that. We need lyrics. We need lyrics. We've been saying we're gonna get some lyrics, haven't we, Dennis?
Yes, we did. We say we're gonna get some lyrics, man. But like I always say, good morning. This ain't yawning. You ain't snoring. But please, good morning. All right? All right. I don't speak foreign either. All right, let's get that out the way. But welcome to the side, Jawn. This is your host, Dennis Holmes. I'm here with my co-host, the Chocolate Girl.
Hey. Saturday morning, my favorite day of the week. Glad to be here.
Right. We got special guests in the building, man. I seen these guys. I seen this group, and it was a big group at first. When I first seen them on Instagram, they were doing their thing, and they used to all be in one room. And it was like dark, and they'd be on a black table, and they used to do everything with the mic, and then, you'll hear Beat Jones going off, and you hear Coach with Coach had like a little mellow tone to him. He'll say what he had to say, and you had to listen on his level, and that was it. That's how that went. Beat Jones, the Mouth of the South, was loud. They had Pam, they had Katie there, and damn, I forgot my other homie name. But like I said,
Serge.
That's right, Serge. But this is the Sports Life Talk family right here. And I'm glad that I'm having them on the show today because I want to show everybody and I want everybody to know exactly what Sports Life Talk is, how they got started. And I've been wearing a shirt a lot of places and everybody was like, yo, it's a dope shirt. Where you at? I'm like, the Sports Life Talk. These are my peoples right here. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Life Talk. As you can see from the hoodies that they got on and the background that they got, shirt, Sports Life Talk, this is what they do, all right? Let me introduce this.
Let's go, man.
Let me introduce first B. Jones in the building. What's going on, B. Jones?
Hey, man, what ain't going on? I'm 10 toes down. I got gladiators at the gates all around me. I got Dallas Cowboy fans around me. I got Eagles fans around me. So you know what I'm saying? I'm a little bit on edge right now. Hey, I gotta prepare myself on a different level. My mentality speaking, so I'm seeing some Tennessee gear. I'm seeing some, look. Then we got a terrible time.
We gotta represent.
And then she wearing the Michigan Spartans, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, let's say a quick prayer for Mel Tucker. Everybody, let's say.
I ain't praying for him. I'm praying for Harlan Barnett. That's our acting coach.
Hey, real talk, man. We appreciate y'all showing us some love, welcoming us to your platform. Dennis, when we first got started, we was thinking like, man, who are some other podcasts that's going through that same kind of beginning or at that y'all know what it is when you get the show started. It's that struggle, right? It's that how do we do this? How do we figure this out? We all hungry, we eat, and I'm gonna tell you one thing that we learned from you early in the game, Dennis, is that you got to work. I think at that time you had 6 shows going a week. We knew right there. We got to work.
B. Jones, remember we labeled him the Steve Harvey of podcast. How many shows he was doing?
Yes.
Yep. And that's why I call him the hardest working man in podcasting.
The hardest working man in the game, man. But again, man, I am your boy, the Mouth of the South, B. Jones, Mr. Louisiana, the Louisiana. Well, put your L's up. Mr. Yeet is in the building. Thank y'all for having us.
Okay, now we also got to introduce the coach. Man's running the show with the show. KT in the building, man. KT, introduce yourself, baby.
I don't know if it's enough time. B. Jones took up all my time just then, didn't he?
I tried to get him out the way first because I knew he was gonna do that. That's why I was way first.
Well, I'm gonna be quick to the point, man. I'm the head coach of the show. I do most of our editing and everything. B. Jones, he comes up with everything. We just make a good mix. We still have KD and Pam. They're still a part of Sports Life Talk. So check us out Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central on our YouTube channel, Sports Life Talk. You can find us there everywhere. But hey, it's an honor to be here, Dennis, man. We've been rocking for a minute. Let's go, man. Let's turn up.
Yes, let's definitely turn up.
I'm gonna say I love y'all show, man. I want some money on your show, so y'all cool with me.
Did you get that Cash App though? Did you get your Cash App?
I got that on my first time watching your show.
Oh Lord, that's why I'm broke now, man. We got to stop running them type of shit. We got.
Hey man, listen, your trivia. You might need to do a little trivia, show maybe once a month, man. Your trivia be good, man.
I'm trying.
You had a couple questions out there that threw me off. I was like, I didn't even know that was possible. Hold on,
Dennis. I got to come up with the question. Then I got to go try to find the answer. So I come up with a question I know I can't answer off the dome. Then I got to go make sure that the answer is real. I mean, so it's a lot of work going to that trivia. So I ain't doing no.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We had a trivia guy. He would shout out to Eric Man's Up. We had a trivia guy. He would do trivia shows every week. He did over 3,000 questions. He had them all in the book. This guy, he would research and everything. And from time to time, he may got like one or two that he messed up or got wrong. And I told him, I said, yo, instead of you researching actual stuff, start putting other categories in it, make it a little easier for yourself, sports movies. Sports movies make things a little easier for you.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. But like I said, you got to make sure you keep that going. Now we're going to get into the Sports Life Talk. Now, first of all, we want to know how you got the name. I like the name. How'd you get the name?
Well, the name came from, I want to give credit to Serge. He came up with the name Sports Life Talk because we were trying to find something that combines sports with life. And it's pretty simple, Sports Life Talk. And it just grew from there.
Okay. All right.
Now, Dennis, that's either $5 or 5 push-ups, man. That's them Sports Life Talk rules there, man. Five push-ups of $5, man. Which one you paying the fine? You can't have the phone ringing during the show.
Hey, well, listen, I got more. I don't know if you noticed about me, but I'm a 3-phone guy. Like the other one's over there. So for me not to have the phone ringing is like kind of hard. Somebody's always hitting me up, and the fact that it's Saturday morning, and a lot of things going on, that's just how that is. Everybody, it seems like when you tell, I'm gonna tell you what it is. It seems like when you tell people, "Hey, I'm doing a show on this day, don't call me." That's the exact day they'll call you. That's the exact time that something happens. I don't know if y'all had these problems like I got them, but I got these problems.
No, because I want to know why you got 3 phones. What's up with that?
One for the one for the plug.
Yeah. Oh man. On the other news, let's get back to it. With the Sports Life Talk, what are some of the subjects that y'all go on and talk about?
Man, well, Kevin just mentioned it. The name came about because we wanted to talk about sports. We wanted to talk about life. We wanted to approach. See, our whole goal going into this thing was, if let's just say Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, he hurts himself, right? He hurts himself. The world stops. You go to Twitter. You go to ESPN.com. Those are going to be reliable sources for you to get sports information on a day-to-day basis, right? So we said we want to stay away from the stat sheets. We want to honor those who do amazing things in sports, but we don't want it to be 100% about somebody going for 218 yards. We want the story behind the 218 yards. We want to know that the person was sick on Tuesday, or they were going through XYZ in their own personal life, because everything about sports is about the humanity piece. It's about bringing communities together. It's about bringing worlds together and telling these stories that we find entertainment in the wins and losses, but it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than when we're tonight. We see this kid out of LA who's nobody knew this kid before the season started. And he catches 25 catches. Like, who is Puka Who is Puka? Where did he come from? Tell us about that. So that's what Sports Life Talk is about. And so we talk about, there's no subject off base, as long as it's not political and it's not religion. Yep. Because those things you just can't talk sense into nobody. I can show you what MJ.
Oh my goodness, you preaching that.
I can show you what MJ did in the 95 playoffs or 96 playoffs, whatever. But I can't prove things that's go on faith belief. So we talk about anything, but we want to make it fun. We want to talk about it from a positivity, inspirational perspective. We don't want things to be dragging people down. We want to lift people up every single time we use our platform for inspiration, motivation, and basically we want the conversation to be a part. We want the community and the conversation all come together and to be something special.
And then with the You Got Next, you got to think about it too. We have a lot of people come on and they have like negativity in their life. We don't want to focus on that. It's all about what you're doing good. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody deserves a second chance.
Unless they use that negative, like I tore my ACL up twice, that's negative, right? We want you to tell that part of the story, but it's like, well, now I'm back on the court and I'm dropping triple double. So we want that negativity to be used as a positive, is what KT.
With some people come on the show and they've been in the news or whatever, and for stuff that wasn't good, but it's not something that should like end their careers.
That's right.
We had a couple of people like that on the show too, so we're gonna give their time to shine, kind of give them their flowers in a positive light.
Okay. I like that. Now, what made y'all go to You Got Next? So it's just the two of y'all and You Got Next. So what made y'all go
just
to
two
You
of us,
Got
man? We wanted more, man. Just doing the live show, it just wasn't fulfilling. You know what I mean? We know that we need to put everything into that show, but there's more stories to be told, like B. Jones said. So what we wanted to do, we want to find a audience that we can really connect with, who needed that exposure. That's why you go to our YouTube page, you watch our clips. We have a lot of female coaches on, a lot of female athletes, high school athletes, because let's be honest, they only get shine on ESPN and Fox if something's going on crazy, like the Angel Reese pointing to her rings and stuff like that. We want to tell the good part of their stories. We want to tell anybody's journey. So if you got a story, you want to share it, come to Sports Life Talk. We're not going to turn you down.
And to go off of that, I gotta give massive love. I say to anybody who asks me, they love You Got Next, they compliment us. And when COVID hit, because that's when we started doing. Me and KT, we've been working together since 2018. Now I want people that's listening to this to understand we are not best friends from growing up in the hood, but this man has become my brother and literally my best friend in the world. So we had a very organic kind of come together. That's a long story. We'll save it for another day. But we
gotta tell that story today. But I mean, we'll talk a little bit.
When 2020 hit, the world shut down. And at that point in time, going live, it was cool. Yeah, we having fun. We celebrating cover athletes and we telling some great stories. But we was like, man, there's more out there. We gotta use this platform responsibly. And we met. I mean, literally, me and KT during the Christmas holiday, we sat down. We met a couple of times. We're like, man, what are we gonna make this show about? What are we gonna do? And of course, we started thinking about like, hey, how many segments we're gonna have? How long we want the show to go? I mean, all of this had to be brought out. But KT said, B, you know what? We want to make the most impact. We got to tell the story of the woman athlete. I said, what do you mean? He said, bro, we're going to go to a WNBA game. So I think that next year, we had just went to a WNBA game and he was like, man, that environment there, it wasn't as many people in the building as it should have been. It was a great environment, but the game was super entertaining. It was amazing athletes. Everything about that was 5-star. And he was like, you remember that game? That's the story we got to tell, bro. That's what we got to get. We got to get this thing going to where everybody can experience what you experience. And that, because remember, he has been watching women's basketball. I was a little bit new to it. He was like, we got to tell that story. Now, of course, I'm a football guy. So I said, well, listen, it's a lot of amateur football players. We got to tell their story too. So we kind of mesh it in. We try to bring a hybrid, but our bread and butter, like KT said, is to tell that story of the women's game, which we saw come full circle and just blow up from the flow up over the Final Four. And this season has been amazing for that as well. So
it definitely did blow up from the flow up. And I seen y'all interviewing a bunch of coaches, players, high school players. And I was like, I like this You Got Next movement here. And I don't know who does y'all graphics, but man, do they make y'all look good. Especially when they put y'all side by side and cut y'all face in half like it was what's the name of that Jay-Z album with R. Kelly?
Yeah, best of both
Um
worlds.
Best of Both Worlds. I said that was a good idea. You know what I mean? Just
That was all B
yeah.
Jones with that. He had the idea and he had somebody make that logo, and that logo is fire. I give him his props.
That was a smooth
Hey.
move there, man. What was the thought process of that? Was it really Best of Both Worlds that went through your head, or what was it?
No, I haven't even seen the Best of the Both Worlds album cover. Now I'm gonna go Google it to see if I'm gonna get see if I'm here from R. Kelly attorney or something. But nah, the thought process was that it was two guys who came together who we go 50-50 on this thing. It takes, if you watch the show, you'll see that it's not just the Mouth of the South doing interviews. I mean, we literally, each one of us intentionally bring something to the table that's gonna add value to the show. And that's the whole goal. I wanted it to be half B Jones, half KT, but it's really all about us becoming one story, one family, one community, and preaching that same message out at the same time. So I just had to request a few different color changes and things of that nature, but that was just all about unity. Where there's unity, there's strength, man.
Yeah, you was definitely right about that. But I understand how y'all felt when y'all said y'all wanted more. Like it was at one point during the pandemic, I was just trying to get, different podcasts on Talk Years Tuesday. Like I brought y'all on Talk Years Tuesday, right? So it was like a bunch of girls, and they was like, "Well, we don't know nothing about sports, so we ain't coming on it." And I'm like, "Hold up, it ain't just sports." They was like, "Well, I seen most of your clips. You got all sports shows." And so I had sat back and I was like, I gotta start doing things more than just sports, because sports is a side of me that I love and that I love dearly. But I also want to go out, interview people, and get to know people, and like you said, show their story, show their glory, show where they came from exactly. And I was looking, I tried this with a couple of different other women. At first, it was going to be a relationship show, and that didn't work out too well. Then I was like, all right, well, we're going to try this another show. And I was like, it ain't going to be good either. But it wasn't until the chocolate girl was like, you might as well do a show. And I was like, you know what? We'll do a show. We'll do a show, and we'll make it work, and we'll have it going. And it'll be an early morning show because nobody's really hitting that morning market. That's what I said. So let's do a morning show. Nobody really is doing the hitting that morning market. Then she was like, well, what we going to name it? Now, we had about at least 40 names on the paper. Let me get that part out of the way, all right?
Yeah.
It was about 40 names on the paper, but the side Jawn just had a ring to it.
Nah, I love the name.
Even when I tell people, I was like, listen.
Started it out, and he loved it. I didn't even like it at first, but he loved it.
Well, Jawn is a noun, it could go for a person, place, or a thing. Yeah, it's actually in the dictionary nowadays. But in Philly, Jawn is a Philadelphia word. Like it just go with anything. Like you'll be like, yeah, I was at the Jawn yesterday with that other Jawn. She was all right. And Philly people be like, oh, all right. How was that Jawn? And the Jawn's cool. You know what I mean? Like, and that'd be a continuous conversation. You'd be like, yeah, you'd be stuck like, yo, what's the Jawn? Like, you gotta explain this. Like, that's how you be stuck with that. But if you from Philly, everybody understands, everybody knows it. Now, I learned later on that when you talk to people who ain't from Philly, you have to explain it. All right? You have to explain it. You have to break it down. Because I started talking to people who was from Baltimore, and one of my homies, he just say yo, right? Yo go for any person he was talking to. Like, yo, I was with Yo the other day, and Yo said that ain't gonna be right. Hold up, play. Who's Yo? Like, let's stop, pause. Who's Yo? Let's get this out the way, all right? Who is Yo? Because you just Yo said. Who Yo? Let me get this part out the way. We got to find this out. But let's talk about myself. We got to say we got to talk about y'all. And in that case, what made y'all come with the name You Got Next?
Well,
I know y'all probably had other names y'all was going through.
No, we knew that it was going to be about the amateur athlete, and we if we had to describe the women's game, the constant tone, any of the amateur athletes, we know that, hey, that's what's up next. We were like, women's basketball is up next. Now, I think Gatorade or ESPN or somebody got next or something like that, or got up next. I can't remember who it was. So the first thing we said, let's take it to Google. Does anybody have You Got Next? And we Googled it. Nobody had that. We went to YouTube. Nobody had that. We went to Twitter. I mean, we literally went to just about every social media site we could. We said, is anybody using You Got Next? And somebody was using You Got Next on Twitter, but they had like 50 followers. So and they hadn't posted a post for like 20 years or something. Like, I mean, I'm just saying they hadn't made a post in a while. So we was like, okay, they not active with it, so they don't really matter. We checked to make sure it wasn't a website out there. So, and then that's how it came about. We was like, hey, You Got Next, man. And it was also a little bit of how we planned on pitching it, right? You got to remember when you pick these shows out, just like you said, we got to do a lot of solicitation and a lot of what I like to call outreach. Yeah, we call it outreach because
and then when you explain, then you gotta. I'm gonna ask you about that later. Go ahead.
Yeah, but no, we call it outreach, and what people don't realize is that every single guest that comes on our show, we don't have a company out there that's I can't say every, because sometimes now we've been fortunate, we've been blessed with the platform. Y'all got to check it out if you hadn't heard us yet. But now people reach out to us. That's when we knew we was on to something. We were cooking with something. We were cooking with grease when people started reaching out to us like, hey, I would like to be on y'all show and tell my story, and we were like, okay, all right, bet. But before that, year 1, year 2, season 1, season 2, it was all me and KT, just like who do we want to go after? We go through and we look at people's YouTube pages, we look at people's Twitter accounts and IG accounts, and we like, hey, this person ain't got no inflammatory comments, or they getting buckets. And then of course, it'll be other podcasts like yourself that'll highlight somebody, so we would reach out to those individuals. But to where I'm going with that is that we knew that when we go after those people, that we were going to have a pitch. So it all kind of made sense. Like, hey, this is Mouth of the South and this is the head coach. You got next. We want you to come on our show. And it speaks for themselves. Why do you want me to come on your show? Because you got next. Because you up next. Because you cooking. You rising. You're doing big things and you accomplishing big dreams. So you got next. We want you to come do the show. So that all of the marketing, all of the pitches, all of the headlines, all of that stuff came a part of how we came up and developed that name, You Got Next. Because it could have been Up Next, Got Next, What's Next, Who's Next. It could have been a lot of different things. You could even take next out. You know what I'm saying? We could have went a lot of different ways, but You Got Next was short, simple, sweet. You won't forget it, and it tells the entire story.
But then you got to think about it too, Dennis. Remember, before You Got Next, we were just trying to collaborate with other podcasts. Remember, we got you on Wax.
That was a collaboration
back in the day.
Yeah,
it was a collaboration.
And y'all got the what's the girls
dresses and salted pretzels.
Yeah, salted pretzels. Yeah.
And then we also, man, when we started off, man, we had Devon Dudley. He came on. So if you
I remember.
Hall of Fame wrestler, and I wish that we were as polished as we are now for that episode, because we probably could have been real big in the wrestling community. So we still working on that.
Yes, we are.
You know what's crazy, and I always appreciate when people who are like big and coming up, and then they come on your show, and you may not have been polished at the time, but at the time you sit back and think about it like, I got him to come on my show, and this guy is dominant Hall of Famer and all that stuff, but I couldn't get such and such to come on my show, and they down the street with 50 followers. Like, I can't get you to come on my show, but I can get him to come on my show with no problem.
And what's funny about that, Dennis, we had somebody we reached out to, and they tried to charge us to have them come on our podcast. And we got a Hall of Famer in Devon Dudley. He came on for free, gave us like 2 hours at like 10 o'clock at night.
Man, I
didn't want to charge us a penny. We can reach out to him right now. He'll respond back. But you want to charge us to come on, man. We're trying to help you.
I got it be those ones, man. That type of stuff just like it really rubs you the wrong way. And I don't want it to be rubbing me the wrong way in my own community, but it be people in my own community. I'd be like,
well, that's the deal though. Don't get me wrong. I have no problem with this person saying, hey, my time is valuable. It's worth XYZ. If you want my time, then you got to do this. But you also got to remember, our platform ain't just about, we not the front of our, like every show. I want anybody who's listening to this, I want you to go to the You Got Next series, and I want you to find me a thumbnail with KT and I picture on the thumbnail. We you know what I'm saying? We play in the background of you. So when we using our platform to tell your story, you are the front. So why are we paying you to give you more advertising, to give you more publicity, to give people to expose you to a whole nother population, a whole nother audience of people that didn't know about you? We giving you that type of audience with our people. So why are we paying you for that? But don't get me wrong. I can appreciate somebody saying, hey, I'm worth $50 an hour. If you want an hour of my time, pay $50. But I'm not soliciting the service from you. I'm giving you the opportunity to use our platform to tell your story in a fun, creative, and motivational and inspirational way. So
you can paint your own narrative to this story, however you want. I'm not sitting here asking and I send questions to them. Like Sharon and say, listen, let's send them the questions. We send them the questions. I asked for the show. Anything you don't want me to talk about? There's some people I wanted to ask some questions about some dramas, but I said no. I'm not doing it. I'm not bringing no dirty light to this. I'm not doing that. I ain't gonna be that type of journalist. When I go out in the street, I want to go out in the street and I see you. You may rub elbows with somebody else I want to interview. That's how I see it. Like one way gonna get me another way. I'm gonna keep getting connected.
Oh yeah, oh man, they gonna love watching our show here because we all about that. We all about building the community. It's not just Sports Light Talk a show. We're building the Sports Light Talk community. KT and I this year we made a conservative effort. Every year we try to grow. We try to grow and we try to say what's next for us. We sit down, me and KT, we have conversation. We like, where do you see this thing going? And this year we made a determination. We said, hey, we got to get out in the streets more. So we created this whole theme about the takeover tour. We were like, hey, we getting out. We're going to see some of the people who we met. We want to go to the games. When you turn on a girls basketball game this year, I promise you, watch KT and I gonna be either sideline or front row. We gonna be in the building. We go to the Wings games. They gave us media passes, so we were like the takeover tour is we gonna be out there.
Now that's love. Now that's love right there. They gave y'all media. Now that's love. That's love right there.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm talking about.
So that's what 2023 was all about for us, was growing and showing.
Only people gave me media passes was the Allen Iverson Classics. They gave me media passes.
Now, do you submit for media passes for everybody else? Because I can't believe that the Eagles or the I can't believe local basketball. What about high school teams?
I ain't been to a bunch of local basketball high school teams. I'm always working. I'm a guy who works two jobs, so I ain't got time to be going to all. But all of them. I try to make as many as possible, though.
I will say this though, that's what we really. Those are our people. When we talk about who do we want to listen to the show, we want the parents who got the kid in AAU who working hard, who's driving all around the country or flying around the country, spending every penny they got to support this AAU kid. We want the high school because to me that's the bread and butter. That's where it all begins. Nobody can forget when Kobe and them and LeBron and them was in high school, or when we watch Reggie Bush's mixtape when he was doing this thing in high school. To us, it all starts at the purest form in high school. Before
it does. Only big name high school athlete that I've actually seen play and went to his what's when they picked the college they going to? What day is that?
Commitment. Yeah.
So when I went to this commitment day, there was Justin Edwards. Justin Edwards was the only one.
Oh, Edwards. Okay, where did he go?
He went to Kentucky.
Okay, basketball player.
He'll be playing for Kentucky this season.
To me, that's the grassroots. Them our people. We want to shake. I mean, you ought to see Kevin working them joints. Kevin, them Johns. He be out there talking to folks. And hey, Kevin be like, "B, say something to him." I'm like, "Man, I'm tired, man. We've been on our feet for 2.5 hours." Kevin be like, "Hey, yo,
but that's it. But Kevin's right. That's your moment. That is it. Like you don't get like, oh, I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow. You may not see you tomorrow. Like I literally, when I be going to these places, I literally use the Quincy Jones method that he told Will Smith. When he told Wilson was like, I don't know if I'm ready right now to display who I am for this show. He said, okay, well, you ain't going to get all these people in the same room at the same time again, so you can get your show. So either you got right now.
Hold up. I got to B. Jones is the one. He's talking to everybody. Now, we
be at the concession stand ordering hot dogs. Kevin be like, hey, you know who the hottest show in the DFW Metroplex is, huh?
Kevin, I don't even do that. That's you. That is B. Jones. I'll give him. He doesn't really know a stranger. B. Jones will go and talk to anybody and make them feel like they're his cousin, they're his best friend. That's just the kind of person he is. You know me, I'm more reserved. But if I got to talk to somebody, hey, I'm gonna go do it. But B. Jones, he's a star power, man. He's a star of the show, man. I just sit back in the background and just, collect.
No, we're not doing that here. We're not doing
that. I gotta interject on that. No, you do not just sit back there.
I'm totally joking. I don't even like him that much, man. I just tolerate him.
No, but I do like the fact that y'all out there at games taking pictures with the coaches, the players. I do see that. Trust me, I do see y'all. Do say, yo, I'm happy for y'all. Keep doing y'all thing. Keep being great. I always say that to y'all because I'll be very excited that y'all out there doing y'all thing. That's just how I feel.
We gearing up, so we gonna. I guess this is the first time we're gonna make the public announcement. I guess we may have made it on the You Got Next show, but 2024 is gonna be the year of the Mamba, man. The year of the Mamba tour is coming, and we're gonna be all around the country. Probably come next March or April. We're gonna start probably doing some local Texas stuff, and then over the summer. Man, them tires gonna be screeching. Them tires on them cars gonna be tired, man. We're going to California. We're going up north to Chicago, Iowa. We're gonna be a little bit everywhere, man. So y'all,
some of that's gonna start in 2023 though, because we got a lot of coaches that they've already invited us out. All we gotta do is tell them what game we're going to, and we there. So you may see us at Wisconsin, Iowa.
Yeah. But that's the deal though. Remember, I told you every year we try to evolve, we try to bring more heat, we try to bring something new. And lo and behold, 2024, man, it's gonna be kind of like you remember MTV Cribs? How MTV would be doing the little Cribs thing at Celebrity's House? That's how we're gonna be doing that college program. So You Got Next, the road tour is gonna be about us showing up at Florida State, and they're gonna show us the basketball locker room, the girls' locker room, the weight room. We're gonna sit down and talk with the head coach, some of the star players. I'm telling y'all, man, this YGN movement, this was like talk. Y'all better buckle up, because we about to do some amazing things, and we just super blessed. And everybody out there, listen, if you decide to go follow us, if you don't, we appreciate it. But y'all better stop playing with us and start praying with us, because we about to move mountains.
Do not play with me. Y'all better come to North Carolina.
We coming to North
Carolina. So here's the thing. Now, we had a coach on. We aired her show last week, B?
Yes, we had Coach Coleman, and we also had an All-American football player. I want y'all to look up his name. God, what's Gavin's last name, KT?
Shepard?
No, man. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to tell you.
Gavin.
I don't know. I went blank. I literally had the name in my head as soon as I said it. But we got an All-American quarterback that's right out there in the North Carolina market. He played for this big private institution.
Is it Owen?
Gavin Owens.
Yeah.
Gavin Owens is right out there. Y'all Google him. He's going to be a future 5-star quarterback. He's probably one of the top in his class. And so we coming to see him play. And we got other All-Americans from that part of the country anyway, all the way from ATL all the way up to Philadelphia, man. We coming.
Y'all got to let me know when you come.
Now,
you got to let me know.
We got you.
I'm gonna ask y'all this, man.
Hold on, Dennis. She threatened me. She threatening us with a good time. Me and KT. We'll tell you when the critics. Don't threaten us with a good time. But hold on, what's the food situation out there?
We know how to take care of people up here in North Carolina. So.
Well, KT always asks this question on every single show. Hit him with it, KT. I'm gonna let KT ask the question.
All right, chocolate girl. So when we travel, we got to eat. So what's that one food spot that you're going to recommend us go to? And then what's your go-to meal there?
Jesus. We got so many spots.
You got to give us that one, though.
Well, I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you Dame's Chicken and Waffles.
There it is.
You told me on chicken. You told me on
It's not like chicken and waffles everywhere else. It's very unique, and it's the best I've ever tasted. That's what you want. You want it with the gingerbread waffle.
Child, please. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
What the mom? We got to work it out. We
definitely gonna be at that North Carolina.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That sounds good. Gingerbread waffle.
That sounds good. Forget Charlotte. Everybody want to go to Charlotte. You need to come to Durham, North Carolina.
All right, Durham, Raging Bulls.
Central.
Raging Bulls. Hey, Dennis, you gonna come down with us?
I'll be down there when y'all come down there. But another thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to Dallas. And I want to know what part of Dallas y'all in.
Man, me and KT, we like Winterfield and what's
We like an hour away, man.
we stay a long way away. Now, you know what? And that's something we kind of forgot about in when we talk about the beginning of You Got Next, because we knew we wanted to do something. We wanted to spend more time and work with each other, but we knew that, like, I stay in Frisco at that time. He was in Lancaster or DeSoto at that time. We knew that we are an hour away from each other. How can we connect and do something? So we had to, that's right. So we literally 60 miles apart from each other at any time.
Okay. All right.
Got it.
I'm down.
But I'm gonna tell you this though, Dennis. If you come in the DFW area, you don't say a word. You just pop up. You let us know. We'll come to you. We'll come wherever you gonna be at, man.
I'm gonna ask this question. I'm gonna reverse y'all question back to y'all, and then I'm gonna turn this to the chocolate girl. All right, reverse it right back to y'all. I'm coming to y'all area where I'm gonna eat at, and what meal do you recommend?
Goodness.
KT, what's the name of that expensive spot that we always talk about? It's like it's a dance club, man. There was some good food there though. I ain't gonna even lie to you.
The one we went to like a couple of weeks ago with Coach.
Now that's the Shack. That was the Shake. The Stacks.
Not that I'm talking about with Coach Linson.
Oh, Coach, that was a fire spot. That was a fire spot, but I was talking about the one that Pam used to always recommend. They were the ones that the girls were. It made national news, man. The chicken coop or the.
Man, so many spots that they recommended, B. Jones. I can't even think. But Gloria's is a good restaurant too.
Yeah, Gloria's is dope.
Gloria's a good one. It's a Mexican restaurant, man. They got really good drinks. I tell you, you can go to a Mexican restaurant. I'm pretty simple because you can't mess up nachos. So I get nachos everywhere I go. But there's a lot of spots we can go to, Dennis, man. Gloria's. What's the place?
All right, well, but let me interrupt a little bit. All right. Last time I was there, I was at Live Casino, and I fell in love with that brisket. All right. And when I was at the Live that's across the street from the stadium, Cowboy Stadium.
Really?
I fell in love with that. Yeah, I fell in love with that brisket. That was 2019. That was the last time I was there.
Okay.
Fell in love with that brisket there. And I was like, I ain't never had brisket like this. We kept going downstairs to go get this brisket. That's how good it was. It was melting in your mouth. I was like, I don't know what they do to this brisket, but I'm going back downstairs with some more. Like, we kept going back downstairs. They let us in the stadium with the brisket from the Live.
Yeah, B. Jones. I didn't see him flipping the question on us like that. I wasn't really prepared. So
yeah, I know y'all wasn't prepared. That's part of the game.
I'm still on this North Cackalack. Hey, so what colleges you got around you so we can go get them coaches on and
oh my God,
that Mamba tour?
We got North Carolina Central, Shaw, St. Augustine's, North Carolina A&T.
Okay. Coach
Johnson C. Smith.
What Coach Taisha coach at, man? Taisha Elwoods, I think her name was. She used to play with Don Staley.
I know you're talking about.
That was around.
Yeah, but what's the one from?
I think it's South Carolina.
Well, no. She used to play. Remember, Don Staley used to play with the Charlotte Sting for a while. So yeah, so they play with each other, and she stayed there in Charlotte. So it's a school that's somewhere around in that area that we did the show with her.
It was either UNC Charlotte or Johnson C. Smith.
Well, no, we know somebody from UNC Charlotte. We know a couple of coaches from there.
Sure do. We got
UNC Chapel Hill. We got Duke University here.
We got UNC.
Both of them like 5 minutes from my house.
We coming.
Oh, yeah, we got Wilmington. Yep.
Say less.
North Carolina State is over in Raleigh.
We got a player that we had in the show that went to NC State, and it's another one we're trying to get from here that went to NC State too. Now, B. Jones, you got me thinking, man. I'm finna look this up.
Yep.
Because there's no way we should have forgotten.
Y'all got a long list. You know what I mean? Y'all almost got a black book full of coaches. For real. Man.
That's for Tynesha Lewis.
Tynesha Lewis, yes.
Tynesha Lewis is at. Man, I can't even see the name, but it's Tynesha Lewis, man.
Yeah, she had a squad. I think it's Johnson City though.
Because man, we do so many shows, man. We probably record about. We were at one point recording like 8-9 shows
Elizabeth
a week.
City.
Elizabeth City State. Yeah.
Yes.
Daddy's hometown. Yeah.
How far is that from you?
I was just there about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so we could do that in a day. We can go to see her and then head to your crib.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. My cousin and them live across the street from the university.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
You know how that works. Oh well, I guess that means it's my turn because he just got off the screen. That's my cue. But anyway, look, I'm so glad to have you guys on here. But I try to do my questions really quickly, like hit it and quit it.
Oh,
right?
no, you're good. We with you.
You with me? So I want to talk more about your creative process and how a day in the life of when you create these shows. Like, where does this inspiration come from? How do you work your process? I know you touched on it a little bit on you do what part you do, KT, and what part B Jones does, but tell us a little bit more about that creative process on your shows.
You want to start it out, KT?
Well, everything we do is intentional. So we started off, B Jones comes with a fire intro. So he makes everybody feel at home. And our intro is pretty catchy, like the one that y'all have for this show. So that gives them time to like kind of calm down and then we go into the show. So the way it's set up, as you can tell, I'm the laid back one. So I do our initiation. So during the initiation, we get to know more about them, the person. Then B Jones comes with the fire and the roar to basically tell their story. You know what I mean? So we try to make it fun. We try to make it like you actually just having a conversation. It's not an interview. We're having a conversation. So we also incorporate what games we do. Would you rather? And then our third round of our would you rather, we're both sneakerheads. So guess what we're doing? We're both presenting shoes to a person and we're making them choose that.
Kevin, you shouldn't have told them. You should have made them go to the show. We got a surprise and
they're gonna go watch the show anyway. So now they're looking forward to the third round to see what kind of heat we bring at B Jones. So go ahead and add whatever you want to that, B.
No, I was gonna say our creative process, like he said, we try to do everything intentional, but we don't want like we said, everything that we do is not to stick it to ESPN, but we're trying to bring people something different because we know that it's natural to go to ESPN. It's natural to go to Fox. It's natural to go to Yahoo Sports. That's the easy route because we know it's certified quality information and quality content. So we try to think like, what can we bring to this industry or what can we bring to somebody who's riding in their car that's going to be inspirational? It's going to be different. That's going to have them a good time for 30 to 40 minutes, right? Culture shows typically go a longer time because they just got great stories. They was players at one time in most cases, but every part of that show is intentional, either set you up for later to either create a smile, create some fun, create engagement, and so our creative process starts with that, with the end user or the listener in mind. Like if I was listening to a show, what would I want to hear? How would I want to feel as I watch these shows? Now, don't get me wrong. Every show is like a thumbprint. No two guests are alike. No two guest reactions. Some people they matching my energy. Some people are more matching KT's energy. Some people have bios that they send us, but we get resumes. We be like, hey, some people send us a resume. That's how in depth they want to go into their background. I'm talking about macro level and micro level. But then, some people are just like, hey, I'm here. What do you want to talk about? And they're a little bit more lackadaisical. So our creative process start with the end user though. What do you want to hear? What kind of experience do you want to have listening to Sports Life Talk? And it's funny because when we first got started, we tried to listen to everybody tell us how to do something. How should we do the intro? How should we do this? And then it came a point when me and KT just said, you know what? Let's just do us. Yes. Our intro is 45 seconds, just like I think y'all had a little bit of a long intro. Our intro is 45 seconds, but we said if we go do a 45-second intro, that thing gotta jump. So right. So KT went found us a high quality, fast-paced beat. We sent it over to one of the young ladies who was rocking with us. Her name is Jawn, up-and-coming rapper. So we like everything from that perspective, even the theme song. When you listen to the theme song, she started off by saying, you a rising star. You got next, and you ain't been on Sports Life Talk. Like, what are you doing?
I actually heard it.
Yeah, that's the
first.
Fire.
It's fire.
The first line of the song.
Then our outro with Layla Capri. It's fire too, and she's incorporating everything with "You Got Next," so it's perfect.
But everything is intentional like that. So we play the game because we want to break up the monotony. We want people to have fun. We want when guests to get off the show. For them, we want a guest like yourself to get off our show and say, that was fun. And not only do I want to support this and I want to help them, but I think my coach need to do this, or my best friend need to do this show. And so again, everything's intentional. So after season 1, we keep trying to progress. Guess what we start doing in season 2? We start doing nominations. We like, okay, well, who you want to be on the show? And guess what? That's what people start doing. They start telling us like, well, who got next for y'all show is such and such and such and such. Guess what? That made our jobs a lot easier. We got a community of people that's telling us, hey, these are the guests that y'all should have on the show. So then we reaching out to those people, which is a totally different outreach experience because it's almost like a referral system, right? The top 5.
And then like B. Jones, and like you said, also when we go to our email or to our DMs and people like, hey, I got a story and I want to tell it. That's one of the best feelings in the world that somebody reached out to us and wants to be on our platform.
Yep. So when we talk about that top 5 actually started a long time ago, even before we started doing You Got Next. If it was like, if you was going to come on our show, we want to know your top 5. Why? There's 2 things that bind everybody together. It's something that's universal. It don't matter what race, what religion, how tall you are, your body type. It don't matter where you from. It's 2 things that keep people connected: sports and music. Do you hear me? So we say if we want to instantaneously build a bond with our guests, the first thing that comes out of their mouth need to be their top 5. Why? Because when we say who are your top 5 and they say Tupac, not only do me and Kevin like, oh, we know Tupac, we love Tupac, but guess what the listener's doing? The listener's like, okay, I like Tupac. This is my type of athlete. Okay, I like J. Cole. This is my type of athlete. Even the people that come on there saying they like country. It's people out there. It's a country's big for a reason. There's a lot of people that like country. So it instantaneously, it draws a connection. It brings the community together with that type. Like I said, everything that we do from the beginning of that show to the end of that show is 100% intentional. And that's when you talk about that creative process, when we bring an idea to the table, the first thing we try to do is shoot holes through it. Hey, man, I think we need to add this. Okay, why? What are we doing? What? And then we ask, like, what is the end user experience? What is that going to be like for us on time? Because see, the end user experience not necessarily might not be to get a laugh. It could also be, man, if we do that, that's going to make the show 3 minutes longer. Now you just ask a person to give up 3 more minutes of their time. People's time is valuable. So, hey, whatever we do, we got to keep it within the constraints of a certain time period to be pleasant. I promise it's a bunch of shows that I start feeling myself like I am now. And KT texting me or he's sending me a message like, hey, we got to cut it off, B. You got to think about the person that's riding in the car. they listening to this and we going a little bit too long. And, I'm having fun, so I can't observe that. But you get where I'm going with that. Oh,
yeah. We have those conversations in our chat during the show all the time. Hey, let's wrap this up. Let's move this forward. Because I'm the clock watcher. I'm always watching the time.
But I'm always hungry because we do most of these shows and I don't get a chance to eat. And I'm like, come on, B. I'm loving this energy, but Playboy got to eat.
Now that's one thing that I can't wait. I can't wait till we blow up. So I'm claiming it. For those of you like, he arrogant. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming that we need enough people to come on there and give us confidence. I'm claiming that God got some big things in store for us for 2024. And that's the one thing I'm hoping that changes. I still want to tell these incredible stories, but once we get our studio rolling and some of the big visionary type things, I'm hoping we ain't got to do 7 to 9 shows per week, man, because I don't think it's no end. I don't think it's no end to what we be doing. Mondays we doing 2 shows. Tuesday we doing 2 shows. Wednesday we doing 2 shows plus a live. Thursday we doing 2 shows. Friday we had a high school football game, a high school basketball game. Saturday we get a day off. But guess what? A day off ain't never a day off in Sports Life Talk, because guess what? All of those graphics, all of that research, all of that outreach, it's got to be done sometime, right? So that's what we're doing on Saturdays. We sitting at the house chilling, kicking it, and we doing work to make sure that the next shows, because guess what happened on Sunday? Sunday, we doing 4 shows.
Well, see, that's work. That's WORK. That's real work.
It's work.
And that's the part that people do not want to talk about and they don't want to see. They see the finished product. They see the graphics behind you, the logos. They see the branded sweatshirts and the hats and everything, and they hear your smooth voice and your nice intro and outro, but they don't think about the work. They don't think about the work. And let me tell you what happens. They see what you're doing. They look at it and say, I can do it too. And then when they start doing the work and seeing how much work it is, they quit.
They tap out.
But
I ain't letting you off that easy. Who got the silky voice though? Is it me or
both
KT?
Both of y'all have smooth voices.
You don't want to go with the voice thing, do you?
I promise you. I promise you gonna start some trouble, man. You gonna start some trouble.
No fight, no competition.
Now, somebody, I just want to put this out there that somebody in his family loves my voice. I'm just saying.
It's my mom. You know, my mom is a big fan of the show. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes my mom will just put us on and then she walk off. I have to get on. I'll be like, Mom, did you see that last? And she be like, yeah, I watched it. I'm like, no, you did. You just put that one on and walk out. But she love KT voice. She love our show though. So shout out to my mom.
Shout out to mom.
Both of you have your own unique voice and they're both smooth.
We appreciate that. We'll take that.
In their own way.
I need the people out there that's listening right now. Who's smooth? The mouth of the South, B. Jawn.
Put it in the comments.
It's always a competition. B. Jawn, you're gonna lose. I think my voice is kind of smoother, man. You just louder.
Out of the South. I really like that name. I really do. But anyway.
You know where I got it from? Me and KT held on to it, but I grew up a big time wrestling fan, huge wrestling fan, and I used to get made fun of a lot because I talk a lot. I'm loud. I talk a lot. You know, my family would be like, "Man, we already know where y'all at down the street playing because we can hear you. We can hear you all the way down the street." You know what I'm saying? I used to get in trouble a lot, but I was a real big fan of Jimmy Hart, and he was with the Hart Foundation. No, excuse me, Jim Hart. And he used to have his megaphone, and he would always talk in that megaphone to get the fight. He could not wrestle a day. It's like he was literally all he did was talk trash.
He was a manager. That's all he was, a manager.
And I identify with that. I said, if I'm gonna talk trash, I'm gonna talk trash like Jimmy Hart, and so that's what I did, man. I just became that persona, but it came from a 1980s wrestling manager is where I came up with the mouth of the South.
Hey, the 80s, that was a good decade. That's all I'm gonna say. But we're gonna leave that there because I don't want to show my age too much. But anyway, so thanks for sharing about your creative process though. That leads me to another question. Have you ever had a guest on your show that did not give you that energy though? You
all the time.
To bring it out of them. They just won't cooperate. Now in your pre conversations, they hype. They all anxious. And then you get them
when the lights come on, it's a different story.
Well,
right. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with it?
Well, that mostly happens with our younger athletes. We did have one athlete come on our show and totally froze from the favorite superhero. So I go, top 5 music artists. Who is your favorite superhero and why? And they just froze. We literally had to stop the show.
Wow.
We've never. That was their first time too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were young athletes.
All American kid too. So we're gonna get them back on the show so we can tell the story. But the other part of that is, unfortunately, I think we probably got somewhere close to 490, almost 500 shows in our archives right now. And unfortunately, we probably recorded 10, 15 KT. I mean, it's great ratios, but we probably recorded 10 to 15 that nobody ever hear. They've been trashed. We had to delete them.
Wow.
They just wasn't good shows. And again, y'all gonna get tired of me saying it. We intentional. If the quality ain't there, if it don't represent Sports Life Talk, because you gotta remember our name. We want Duke head coach. We want Nick Sabans. We want the biggest names in the industry to want to be a part of our show. And we like, hey, does that represent us? Does that do a good job of telling people the Sports Life Talk story? Does that do a good job of pushing and promoting high quality athletes trying to take it to the next level? And if it don't, we won't air it. We won't put it out.
Because I'm a stickler for quality. So if somebody comes on the show and they're giving like 1-word answers, what are we gonna do with that? You're not selling yourself to anyone.
Yeah, I'd had to throw a tantrum to get one person put on. I'm like, man, if we don't just put this show on, because it ain't that bad. But KT is like, no, that thing.
But see, I do the editing on the show, so I'll tell B out there, hey man, I'm not going to sit another 20 minutes, 30 minutes to edit the show that it's not going to be worth anything. It's pointless.
I got you. I understand that totally. So when you do your interviews, you pre-record those and edit those. You don't do those live like you do your live shows, right?
The reason we don't do that is because sometimes my internet will go out.
Yeah.
Or sometimes their internet will go out.
And so we have different mic sound quality issues. Everybody internet different. If you on a tablet, you work with StreamYard, so if you're on a tablet versus if you on an iPhone or if you're on Android or if you're on a laptop, everybody's situation is different. So we want to make sure quality is up and up. But then also we also want to make it, once again, the end user experience. We want to throw music, we want to throw graphics on the screen. We want to make it a show. We don't want to just be a bunch of people talking. I'm pretty sure people get tired of hearing other folks talk, even though that's all I do. But we want to make it an experience. We want to make it interactive. We want to make it fun. We want to give call to action so they can participate and be a part of the show as well.
And I'll say this: we had one show with one of the top 5 coaches in the women's game in college, Coach Terry Moore.
Yes.
And during that show, she was on the iPad, so the microphone was kind of staticky.
Sure was.
But we couldn't tell her, hey, we need to stop and reschedule.
No.
She's a big name. So what we had to do, we had to just get somebody to fix it for us to the best of their abilities, and we put it
outsource. Yeah, we had to outsource that.
There is no way that we got her on the show through a connect that we could just say, hey, no, that's trash. No, that's Terry Moore. And we putting this show out regardless.
Right. Well, then once you get started, you get to a place where you can make those type of judgment calls and decisions. And then you guys, discuss it and work it out. And then you both reach a happy medium on that and say, yeah, I agree. We're going to do it this way.
I don't think it's a happy medium. It's KT's world. He the head coach for a reason. I got to trust KT on that. Like I said, every once in a while I throw a tantrum, but it's probably maybe one or two shows that I talked him into putting out. But that's KT call. He the producer.
I'll tell you right now, if it's trash, I'm telling you, if the sound quality is off,
of course, no doubt.
We'll reach out to that person.
That's your role. And he respects that though. I see that respect all over his face right now, just talking about it. I can see it.
But you got he give me free reign, and when it comes time to me talking, KT let me go. He say, hey, be great, do your thing, man. So we play off each other's strengths from that perspective.
And I'll be like, hey man, like I said, wrap it up. I'm hungry. So let's wrap it up.
You guys have great synergy on camera, especially. You really do. You work well together. You balance each other well. People say that's one of the things that people say about Dennis and I is that we complement each other. We have that yin yang thing going on.
Now let me ask you a question. Did that come organic for y'all?
It did. It did. That's where my question is going towards. Yeah, it was organic. He was looking for a woman to come do Talk Irish Tuesday, right? And so one of our mutual friends introduced me to him, and he had me on his one of his shows, and the views blew up. Okay,
wow,
blew up. It was myself and one of my partners, another woman, and so we were on there for 2. He had to do 2 episodes because so many people wanted to hear the rest of the story, right? So we did a part 2. And then after that, he asked me, he said, hey, I've been looking for a woman to, talk sports with every week. Would you come? Would you like to join, I said, sure, I'll do it. And that was it. And then after doing that show, and he was telling me, like he said earlier, he wanted to do something else beyond sports. And I was like, well, shoot, you need to do that. And he said, well, why don't you do it with me? I'm like, cool, we can do that. When we going to do it? Saturday morning? Bet. And then that's when all the show names, I just started writing. That's my
we love y'all.
That's what I do.
We love y'all. We up early on a Saturday morning to do this show. I mean,
right.
B. Jones like to sleep in. Most of the time I'm already up anyway, but I'm editing the shows. But
KT be up at the crack. KT be up at the crack.
I love 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. People, when we tell other people, that's when we, do the show. Some of them are like, ooh. I'm like, listen. It's the most fun hour and a half you're gonna ever have on a Saturday morning. It's gonna be worth your time. And they come, and afterwards, everybody's happy. So they're not even sleeping.
So tell them go get their chicken and waffles and come on and check it out. Stop playing.
That's right.
But yeah, that was one thing that I found to be that kind of shocked me as well, is how quickly me and KT, and it was one thing for us to be on the Wednesday night show at that time. I think we kind of did it on Saturdays at sometimes. I think we did it on Tuesdays at a time, on a Mondays. We kind of was trying to find our place in the world with the Wednesday night show. Well, now it's Wednesday night, but 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time if y'all want to come hang out with us. Sports Life Talk Live.
Go ahead and get that plug in.
But yeah, it was when we decided to do You Got Next. I was a little bit shocked at how natural. Now, don't get me wrong. We struggle. We had to figure things out on the go. Like he
quality wise, as far as the presentation, we were still the same, I believe. Of course, we've gotten a lot better. But
we've added on some things, we've added on some things, but it was how quickly we it's like it was almost like a relationship where I kind of fell in love with doing the show. I mean, it was like it wasn't even work no more. You called it work earlier today, and yeah, at the end of the day, it's work. My wife be like, "Hey, you going to work?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got 3-hour session. We finna record 3 shows or whatever." But it didn't feel like work, because it was so fun. It was cathartic. It was like, even on days like I talk about those Tuesday nights and those Wednesday nights, I'm having a lot of stress, and then you come and you get to unwind, and I get to kick it with my best friend, and I get to talk to a world-class athlete, and by the end of that show, no matter what I had going on that day, I can't even think about that, because this show was just it was just fire. And now all of a sudden I'm like, I'm thinking like, man, that was off the chain. That was a great experience. I don't even think about the tough times or the dragging I did during that day.
It's same here. And that's how we feel after we get done with our show. We're just all tingly and excited. Oh, that was the bomb. After we let our guests go and it's just Dennis and I in the room, that was a great show. Hey, and then we have our debrief on it. It's worth it, and I love it. I love doing the show, and I love doing it with him. It's not something I want to do with everybody. It's something about the way that we work together, and you can't explain that to people unless you're in it. People can't really get that. It just happened organically. It cannot be forced, and that's what's so genuine about you guys. And that's another thing that draws me to your show. And you'll see me in the comments. I'm the chocolate rider. You see me in there, and like, "Hey, chocolate rider." And let me tell you how good I feel when I get that shout out too. I'm like, I'm such a girl. I am such a girl. I'm like,
now speaking of Dennis, what Dennis said now, man? He just bailed out on us.
He's here listening. He's just waiting for me to say that I'm gonna bring him back next, and he'll show up.
Okay, look at me. My bad. Kevin always tell me just stay in my role. My bad, KT. My bad. I did it again.
There he goes.
No. I mean, I had to go pay the water bill. That's about it.
Oh, Lord have mercy. But listen. This is gonna be my final question, and we're gonna bring Dennis's questions back in. I know you were talking about next year, what your plans were for next year, but I'm a long range thinker. So 5 or 10 years from now, you're still gonna be doing Sports Life Talk, I'm sure. It may be called the same thing. It may not.
Sports Life Talk.
It might be doing the same things, or you might expand it. If you can just name each one of you, name at least one goal in your 5 to 10 year plan that you guys have.
I'll let you go first,
or thought about.
Well, for me, I want us to have our own, not like stadium, but like a place where we can host a lot of tournaments, a lot of basketball tournaments. That's one of the things we want to do. We want to have in the back a studio where we can go back there and record. So that's one of my dreams, is to just have like Sports Life Talk Arena.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit longer story than I want to, but I was telling KT we were traveling somewhere. I can't even remember where we were traveling, and we was in the car, and I was like, man, are we a podcast or people can see us? I'm like, how do we title ourselves? And I was like, are we Sports Life Talk, the podcast? And then all of a sudden I saw like the pivot. I'm a big time fan of Ryan Clark. You know, he's from Louisiana. I look
Same
up to
here.
Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark has actually had a conversation with me through DM. So I don't know why I think I'm following Ryan Clark footsteps. And so I saw the Pivot. The Pivot calls themselves a podcast. And they do it. It's all visual, and they got a nice little setup. I said, so we're gonna be a podcast. And after I got to calling us that for about 2 weeks, I realized I was like, you know what? If we call ourselves a podcast because Pivot call themselves a podcast, then what we're doing is we're aspiring to be as big as Up in Smoke or Pivot or Knuckleheads or any of the other top podcasts out there. And I say, you know what? Me and KT, we thinking bigger than that. We think it's so much more bigger than that. So I don't care what we Sports Life Talk Media. And like Kevin said, we want the in-house studio where we can fly guests in from all around the country. We want high-level production company to where we can do different things. I want sports reality shows. I can guarantee you within the next 2 years, I don't know how, I'm just claiming it, but within the next 2 years, I will start the filming on maybe one of the first Sports Life Talk documentaries. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a media. I'm thinking ESPN. I'm thinking ESPN for the common man, for the stories that haven't been told. You gonna come to us for those types of stories.
You know what I was thinking when I saw all this? I was thinking ESPN meets BET.
Hey, all of that. I want all of that. With me and KT,
right. Not only did I want to do the media's part, I also wanted to make movies and get them out there as well. So I was kind of wanting to be everywhere. And I got like 2 camera guys. One of the hardest things in the world is these camera guys. Now, I got 2 camera guys that I grew up with, so I know both of them personally. But one of the hardest things in the world is camera guys, because once they take the video, the editing part for them seems to be a problem. Now, I'm not no great editor. Y'all, KT and y'all do a good job. I'm not no great editor, but y'all see my clips. Y'all see how I do. I try to make it work. But I need to go to school to be a better editor. That's what I need to do, so I can get it all out and done within one day. Like, that's my whole thing. Like,
you better go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, man. You don't need to go to the school. Go to YouTube.
We disagree, but one thing I got to give Kevin the credit, because we just normal people. We ain't got a deal yet. We still shopping for our deal. We working on sponsorships and stuff, and that's the first thing I say. Kevin,
honestly, B. Jones, I wanted a sponsorship. I wanted a deal, but then I sat back and I thought about it. I was like, I want a production. So it's like, I'll get the deal and that'll be cool, because I'll do what I need to do within my contract, make things work and do all that. But I can see that they're going to try to take me away from talking ish or the side jump. I'm not leaving my show that I built.
That's true.
I'm not leaving my show that I built just to build your empire. I understand you paying me to build your empire, but I want to build my empire as well.
We needed the Narrows, man. Going up to North Carolina, eating that yard bird, that fried bird, and gingerbread waffles ain't free, Dennis. So we need that sponsorship money behind us.
Listen, I told you I'm a guy with 2 jobs. If they pay me good enough, I can leave these jobs. I'm a guy who travels, and I fly Spirit. All right, I'm traveling wherever. It ain't no. Oh, I ain't getting on that plane because of Spirit. No, I'll be there. When I tell you I'll be there, I'll be there.
I'm flying Delta. I'm not.
Oh Lord.
See, I'm one of them. I'm one of them guys. Ain't no problem. I've been to places where I touched down and took off the same night. All right. So I'm just letting you know I ain't got no problem going places. All the problem is the money. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, that's why we got to get that sponsorship, man. That's why we got to get that money coming in and flowing. But going back to what I was saying, is KT, he real big on that. We don't have money coming in, so he like, hey, we can't do it, because I have very grandiose ideas, and in my mind, I've heard enough power speakers and motivational speakers tell us that, hey, your time is worth money, so you got to outsource some of that stuff. And I'm like, but to your point, you said becoming an editor. You'll be surprised that, like you said, somebody complimented my graphics on this show, and that's me. I do all of the overlays. There was a point in time where Kevin was doing some of the thumbnails and stuff like that. But what would you say, Kevin? 75 to 80% of the graphics are coming from me working it, and by doing it over time, I got very efficient. I could probably put together a show. I could probably put together a graphic for this screen right now in probably maybe 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to become an editor in the first day,
do it. If you do it, we'll take it. Let's just get that out of the way.
We'll
take it.
Hey, I'll bless you with that, man. I'll bless you with that.
And we appreciate your blessing. Okay? Don't listen. We appreciate your blessing.
All I'm saying is that sometimes, the first time it's going to take an hour and a half. That second time it's going to take an hour and a half. That third time is going to take 55 minutes to an hour. You get what I'm saying? In about 6 months, you're going to look up and the editing ain't going to be nothing, man. You're going to be sitting over there, click, scrap, roll, scrap, B-roll, B-reel, click. You're going to be pulling stuff out, and this, man, it's going to be, super quick, man. So I'm just saying, don't wait for school. Because if you got to get in there and roll up your sleeves and do that joint now, go start knocking that stuff out, man. You're gonna love it. You're gonna probably see some things you want to improve. You're gonna probably see some things like, oh, it would be dope. But like listening to all those shows, you like, man, it's probably gonna be dope for me to add this in at this part of the show right now. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, it's only gonna make you bigger, better, faster, stronger.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Now, you said y'all gonna be traveling. I'm gonna get a couple of questions out, then I'm gonna let y'all go. I know y'all hungry.
Yeah, because I'm hungry.
Oh, I'm hungry.
Sunday breakfast. Let me let y'all.
It's Saturday morning. It's lunchtime on Saturday morning.
Yeah, and that's why I want to do it. That's why I want to do a brunch show. It's a big reason why I want to do a brunch show. Mm-hmm. But let me get back to it. Y'all said y'all gonna be traveling. Are y'all going to be bringing on a camera guy? That was one of the biggest questions I want to know about that. But y'all gonna be doing the camera stuff yourself.
We go try to do a lot of the camera stuff ourselves. KT has kind of he's starting to kind of dabble around with it right now. It just depends. Of course, in an ideal world, we're gonna try to get a camera guy. But I'm almost certain the camera guy not gonna be able to do as much traveling as that's gonna be required for us. So if we do have, it might be multiple camera guys, and then if we couldn't get a camera guy, it's just gonna be me and KT. And another part of this thing is with some of the names that we brought, some of the success that we've had over the last year, I don't know if some of these things people like send us the tickets and you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they want to pay for a third person or they don't want to give us media passes for that third person. It's a little bit harder.
You're right about that.
It's a little bit harder that we already saying we need two of them. So sometimes they're just like, hey, like we got a game we trying to go to on Friday. I was gonna get with KT after this and just like, man, we're gonna sit in the stands because they only want one person from every media publication on the sideline. You know what I mean? And they'll give us one sideline pass, but I don't want to go to the game and not be there with my boy. And we have fun during the game. Me and KT, we chop it up, we talk, and it's like I said, it's an experience. So but all I'm saying that goes back to the it might be a little tougher to get a cameraman in on all of the events.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I see where that's going. All right. Well, y'all got to give them to me, man. All right. I know y'all sneakerheads. Y'all got to give them to me. Send the show with it. Give me that top 5 lineup. Come on. You only get 5 sneakers to wear for the rest of your life.
I ain't gonna do it. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna pull out for your people, because we kind of keep a little short. I keep whatever arsenal I got for those shows for that day. I'll show you what my most recent arsenal is. What we've been showcasing to the people. So hold on 1 second. I'm gonna give you those joints. Just give me about 2 seconds.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I just got these. These are my first pair of 4s.
Okay.
Because I normally rock 5s and 1s, but Sports Life Tough colors, this hit just right with them.
I like that.
So while you was gone, Dennis, KT and I was talking to Chocolate Rider, and we was like, hey, we got a part of our show, which is the 3rd round of the championship round. Well, now we don't do top 5. We do the top 5 music at the beginning of the show, but at the end of the show,
we can't give you top 5 shoes right now, Dennis. You.
Oh man, I got to do some thinking on it. But what I say is that, because we do that, we always kind of keep a little arsenal of shoes around us in our office and in our studio. So I'll show you just a few of the joints that I got that that I put on some shows recently. This one is going to be the some black and pink ones, as you can see, with the pink laces. And I love these joints.
Yeah, I'm a wide foot guy, right? And everybody keep telling me
You got to get on these ones.
Ones ain't built for wild foot guys. That's what they tell me.
Well, you know,
yeah,
I can see
the
that.
threes are though.
I was just about to say you need to get on them threes. Get on them threes. Here's another since he pulled out his 4. Here go me some 4s. North Carolina blue, some UNC 4s.
Yeah, I got and I got the UNC ones, but I got them sitting up there. So,
well, I'm glad you got yours sitting up, so I can pull mine out. Then I can pull mine out. Boom.
Oh, boom.
Well, mine got the black toe though.
He got black toe. So that's kind of
fun. I ain't gonna let you. I know she like North Carolina. You give me 1 second.
Yeah, I'm wearing these to North Carolina. I'm gonna let these wear these to North Carolina. So, and then and one of the things I try to with my shoe collection, especially on the show, is everybody kind of know what's normal out there in the street. It's some shoes that's like really, really, really popular. I try to bring a little bit of diversity. Now, these are called Rookie of the Years, and not too many people know it, but this is like a $700 sneaker, or at least when I got it. It dropped a little bit, but this is a very rare one of the Jordans. It's hard to get it because its colorway is so unique, and that's like a khaki or something, like a mustard or something suede on it. And but this is called Rookie of the Year. So as you can see, that's one of the other ones, and then probably one of my more easier to cop sneakers.
I see it with the black toe. I see it.
Yeah, so he got the black toes. Now I actually don't have those sneakers. I actually don't even have those. But as you can see, mine's got the white toes, where his got the black toes on it. And then my last one that make out 5 would be these because I try when we get hoopers on the show, I try to throw something different at them. Hoopers, I want to get them like a true sneaker that they would play in with their school colors. And so this is I think this is a 13 KT. Is it a 13?
I thought you was gonna pull out
another 12s. The 13s. Like my favorite pair of Jordans though, Dennis, is the playoff 13s.
Ooh, see, I would say, you know what, those might be your favorite, but your second favorite would probably gonna be those 11s.
Which ones are the patent leather ones?
You love them leathers.
Those cherries, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was a patent leather guy. Which one's the patent leather?
Those are the 11s.
Yeah, the 11 cherries, and I got the patent leather ones too. Those breads.
The breads, exactly.
But B. Jones has those 11s too, so they fire.
Yeah,
as well.
I got them all. I just ain't finna pull them out for the show. I got them all. You know, if y'all want to see the 11s, you got to come watch You Got Next. I pulled them out a couple of times on there.
All right.
All right. Well, all right. We're gonna have to let y'all go. We want to know any final words that y'all have. Anything that y'all want to.
Well, come check us out. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central. That's a Sports Life Talk Live. It's 2 beautiful co-hosts, Pam and KD. Then you got B. Jones and myself, and then we got our You Got Next series where, I mean, we got over close to 500 episodes. B. Jones,
close to it, man. I'll be surprised if we ain't over it right now.
So please come and check us out. You can follow us everywhere. Sports Life Talk, TikTok,
and we're
Instagram.
When we 400 hours, we less than 400 hours away from being monetized. So we definitely need y'all to make that last little push and help us to get there. And our
website, SLT.
I was about to say, y'all
YouGotNext.com. Come and check us out.
Some of the people we worked with, because going through that YouTube page can be kind of daunting, doing all that scrolling up. But I promise you, it's a little bit something for everybody. And if you want to be on the show, or if you want to check out the show a little bit more, if you want to request us to come to an event, go to SLTUGotNext.com and come show us some love. I'm gonna say this the last thing, man. We just play cousins, and we've had a little bit of success, and we appreciate it. But that's one thing we never forget is that 10 toes down grassroots mentality. If anybody want to ask us questions, we come on anybody who asks us to come on their show, we come on their show. We had a dude that's like, hey, we want you to come to a college. We spoke at a media college course, and so we not afraid to. We very accessible. We want to be a part of what you got going on. Also, one thing, we don't care about numbers. One of the biggest sayings that we have on the show is we don't do fans, we don't do followers, we do family. We don't care about that. Well, you got so many followers and you following so many. We don't care. If you follow us, we're gonna follow you. We're gonna follow you back. You know, that's just the way it go. Or if you tag us and stuff, we're gonna retweet it. We're gonna re-IG it. And once you become part of that Sports Lifetime family, we the type of brothers that's gonna always say happy birthday and thank you for your time. We're gonna support you as much as we possibly can. So We real about that. We sincere. We authentic. We ain't just saying this stuff just for clout and all that stuff. Because like I said, we want to be the grassroots version of ESPN. We want to be the comments man, the Joe Main Street version of ESPN. So we authentic and we sincere. So y'all rock with your boys, man. Y'all rock with us. We love to have y'all to become part of the Sports Life Talk family. 2024 is going to be crazy. 2023 was already bananas, but I promise you, we elevating this thing to a whole nother level next year. And y'all buckle up. Hey, it's now's our season. We out here, and this is our year. So we're gonna make magic happen, and we're gonna do it all for y'all, man. Every day. The work don't stop.
All right.
I feel it.
Chocolate girl, you got any last words?
Yeah, I got my last words is like the brothers that we have on here today. Follow your dream. Whatever your dream is, think big. Don't be complacent and don't be limited. Expand your dreams.
And it's on. My bad. I forgot to say one thing. And Kevin, you already know what I'm about to tell him. Yeet. That's all. I can't get off out. I can't get off out without not telling them that yeet, man. Y'all go do your thing, man.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Do your thing and just follow your dream, follow your heart. Don't let anybody hold you back and keep you off where you want to go. You just got to do it. I thank y'all so much for coming on. This has been so much fun.
Oh, anytime. It took us a while to get this one going, though. We apologize, but
no apology needed. We always have space for greatness on our podcast. So hey, whenever you can arrive, we welcome you in. We welcome you.
Right, we'll
have to have you back again too.
Oh, you let us know. We there.
Yeah, we there. Anytime y'all need us. Dennis been with us since we was little pups in the game before we became dogs.
Since y'all was
one.
All right, Dennis, back to you.
Yes. One thing I gotta say, I'm going to try my best to be there December 10th. Letting y'all know that for that Eagles Cowboys game. I'm gonna try my best to be there. Hopefully, I see you fellas in Dallas.
Now, Dennis, when you come, you be safe, man. You know they wilding at these stadiums now. Folks going home. Folks meeting Jesus at these football games now. So you make sure you're safe out here with these Cowboys fans, man.
Yeah, my dad's a Cowboys fan, so.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna be with a Cowboy fan. Good stuff. Yeah,
my dad's a Cowboy fan, so I'm gonna be straight. There ain't gonna be no big thing on that. Yeah, well, like I said, we coming down though. We gonna have a good time. Yeah, that's why I said I hope to meet y'all. Hopefully
you will, man. You just let us know. We'll make sure we don't have any shows. Well, B. Jones got to make sure we got no shows on that day.
Hey, you say December the 10th?
December the 10th. I should be there on December the 10th. To be honest with y'all, I don't want to leave that Monday because there's always some complications at the airport.
Yeah, we'll be recording for season 4, but that's kind of we try to take a little bit of a break to rest and decompress. We don't want to exhaust ourselves and overwork ourselves. So our December is kind of light, and then probably towards the end part of December, it's gonna ratchet up real high and heavy.
Let's end this show.
All right, man.
Thank y'all very much for coming out. God bless. Great